All right, just bear with me for a second. I'm going to start the Facebook. I'm going to start the Facebook streaming, and I need to share with a few pages so my work is efficient. Okay, Facebook. It will take me a few seconds. Facebook. It will take me a few seconds. It's incredible. Facebook. Every time that I copy and paste from YouTube, it's incredible. What I copy and paste sends people to an official government COVID-19 stuff. So we don't have freedom anymore. And my conversation is not about that, because I'm going to talk about the real freedom. Let me see. Yep. All right. As soon as I am live in Facebook, I'll start. I'm going to share in a few sites. Mayra Camacho. Mayra, this video is in English. I've been doing these sessions in English for about 2 years, and I stopped doing it in January to help people. Let me see what happened here. Let me just share in a few pages that I have. And I start very soon. It's in English for about 2 years, and I stopped. I don't know what happened. I cannot. Okay, here we go. It's in English for tomorrow. I'm doing it in January. Oh, the volume. I'm going to do a very interesting interview. Tomorrow is going to be in Spanish. We're going to do it in English. I don't know exactly when, but sometime. Maybe this week, maybe next week. And it's going to be about simple yet effective ways. I am missing something. Here we go. Simple yet effective ways to heal this virus that is affecting humankind. For some unknown reason, let me see. Just give me a few seconds to organize. I was driving. Oh, yes, this is what I need to do. Let me see. Just give me a few. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to. I'm going to share to a few more pages. And today I'm going to talk about inner freedom. Why? Because as we know now, external freedom, we don't have it. Everything that we do is controlled, is by whoever controls this world, governments. So, but we have the choice to be free from the inside out. And that freedom is real freedom. And the idea to talk about that came when about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, I went to the farmer's market. I need to express my opinion. We are suffering an emotional pandemic, which is the fear, the insecurity because of watching the news. I talked to so many doctors and other people that they told me. I have a nurse in my healing room here last Saturday, and she told me, Carlos, this is not what they say. And it's very clear what she said. This is not what they say. To me, I posted in Facebook, and she said something like, this is exaggerated, it's not real, because in the hospital I am, the beds are empty. Okay, let's begin. So I was in the farmer's market with talking to the guys that today is in English, everybody. I haven't done this in English for a long time. And every Tuesday at 6 I'm going to do it in English, and Wednesdays and Fridays, okay, miércoles y viernes a la 1 en español, jueves a las 6 de la tarde en español. All right. Hola Diego, hola Goddess. Hoy in English, yes. So, I was in the farmer's market, and the guy, simple guy from the farms, they say, we agree that this is all made up. This pandemic is not real. And it's just because of the facts. I hope you saw the videos of the two doctors, Dr. Erickson and Masahi, something like that, from Bakersfield. And I am in contact with many doctors. The number of patients from COVID-19 doesn't add up, not even close to what was projected. So the simple people from the farmer's market, we all have to wear a mask, said, well, we had to pretend, and gave me an idea. Yes, we need to keep our inner peace and pretend. And this is what I read yesterday. And I give you my real opinion on this situation. This is an email that a monk is a wise spiritual person sent to devotees. In these days of social distancing and lockdown, duality always has two sides. The dark, fear, struggles, suffering and loss. And the light, opportunities, overcoming, growing, gaining strength, drawing closer to God. And here says, growing closer to God and Guru. And Guru is a spiritual teacher that helps us to reach God. Could be Jesus, could be the Buddha, could be Krishna. For me, it's Paramahansa Yogananda. So, the key is to focus as much as possible in the later. What? The light. The opportunities that this crisis gives us. Overcoming, growing, gaining strength. I'm going to read just that. So, last Saturday I went to Vaughn's. It's a supermarket, it's a market, a grocery foods market, a big one. And the control that they have of the people was insane. That you had to come here, keep the distance. There were people, employees addressing and controlling the traffic, and no, you cannot go yet, you have to. And I was thinking, this looks like a concentration camp. And all of a sudden, I realized I have my inner freedom, my inner paradise. And I closed my eyes, waiting in the line, and I wait for a long time. And I said, Divine Mother or God, let me feel thy love. And all this surge of love and energy came. This is what I do every day in meditation, to live for that love. And I realize that being prisoner, using a mask that I don't agree with, is exaggeration. I'm waiting and doing long lines because the social distancing. I have the inner peace, the inner joy of the contact with God. Ladies and gentlemen, if we watch the news, they are scary. We are going to a tyranny. That's what the news says. That they are going to use all the military power to force the vaccinations on people. And I was thinking, I can take that. Even though my nature, if you have been feeling my videos, I am a warrior. I was always fighting, helping the poor and the less fortunate. I was like that since I was born. But I fight with the spiritual tools that I have. And sometimes I am, I don't know what is the word in English, vehemente. Vehemente means strong in my opinion. It doesn't mean that I lose my inner peace. Because I really need to voice what I think is right. And the only reason to do that is for people not to be afraid, to be educated. You know that there is this saying that says, knowledge is power. Why do you think that we have this dark energy around the world? Why? Because people are afraid. They are in fear. The fear was instilled by the World Health Organization, by people from the government, by the whatever. Hola Meryl, ¿cómo te va? Hola a todos los que hablan en español, pero ahora lo tengo que hacer en inglés. And these mass toxic energies of the fear, the anxiety that is produced, the uncertainty, people are at home without paycheck. 28 million in the US has lost their jobs, including me. Hi Carlos, how are you? You can speak English and understand very well. Even in my case, I lost, I think, 70% of my clients. And with that amount of clients, I cannot make my living. But I know that everything is going to be all right, in one way or another. So, even though we are under this lockdown, this quarantine, I don't know how this is pronounced, that usually, I mean, always in human history, we quarantine sick people. We never quarantine healthy people. So our freedom has been taken away from us. We still have the opportunity to grow spiritually, the opportunity to connect with God. And I want you to really, really listen. We must connect with God through meditation. Otherwise, we're going to suffer a lot, because a lot of things will be taken from us. And then I was remembering when 10 years ago, I went to this Museum of Tolerance here in Los Angeles, which is a museum to show people the horrors of the extermination of the Jews in the Second World War. And there was a couple, survivors, a woman and a man, I don't know, close to 90. And the peace that they had. And when they say, we forgave the Nazis, I had chills, because I was thinking, I cannot forgive this person who stole some money from me, this person who stole $6,000, who stole $24,000, or did this to me, and they forgave the Nazis and made their life miserable for years. The parents of my ex-wife, they were taken from Poland, and they were not Jewish, to Russia. unfortunately, the father was holding grudge and against the Nazis, and he was Polish, not even Jewish, to the end of his life, and he has a bitter life. In spite of that, he was a very good man, very healthy. My wife was a vegetarian since she was born because her parent was vegetarian, but his life wasn't happy. So, inner freedom means to connect with the peace first of the contact with God through daily meditation. Inner freedom. Inner freedom means to feel the love of the connection with God. This experience that I had in the line inside before the cashier in Vons when I was paying for the groceries I was buying, it was amazing because I was going through the restriction of my freedom, but at the same time inside I was feeling the peace and the joy. So this is my message for today, and I'm going to read again for those who just came. This letter was written by a monk of Self-Realization Fellowship, the teachers of Paramahansa Yogananda. And by the way, if you enjoy meditation, I highly recommend you to take the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda, because they are deep, easy to practice. The only thing we have to practice every day like everything else. And this monk says, in these days of social distancing and lockdown, duality always have two sides: the dark, fears, struggles, suffering and loss, and the light, opportunities, overcoming, growing, gaining strength, drawing closer to God. So the key is to focus as much as possible in the latter, which means the light side of this crisis, which is opportunities, overcoming, growing, gaining strength, and drawing closer to God. Why do we have to meditate and contact with God? Because as humankind is evolving, we are more in contact with what we truly really are, which is our soul. And our soul is the energy part of us that is closer to God. Actually, it's an individual manifestation of God. The soul, the perfect soul, is here, and in front is the subconscious with all the flaws, habits, unconscious habits, and energy blockage and things like that. And on top of that is our conscious, is what we are experiencing now. So we need to pierce through the veils of the conscious mind and the subconscious mind to get to the super conscious mind. And the super conscious mind is a soul. People are talking a lot lately, in the last, I don't know how many decades, of the subconscious. We have to heal the subconscious, everything is there. No, the subconscious is part of the physical world, it's part of the mind. We have to go beyond that, deeper than that. We have to reach to the super consciousness, which is the perception, the direct perception of God. And when we have to that, we get to that perception, we feel the peace, we feel the love, we feel the joy. Now, why we are participating in these group healing sessions? And I used to do only twice a week. For a month I was doing 7 a week, every day at 1 p.m. and then my regular Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6. Why? Because we live in unprecedented times, and these unprecedented times takes unprecedented healing and transformation measurements. For those who are new, this energy healing sessions are helping us to remove the deep-rooted energy blockages that have been activating since March this year, very much, when all these toxic energies, dark energies, cover the world with fear, anxiety, insecurities, uncertainty. Because these dark energies that really exist, they feed on the toxic energies that we human beings generate. When we have fear, they smell, they see our fear as a food for them. And this is a very nice analogy. Let's say that the lion gets a gazelle, eats the best of that, and leave the rest. Who eats the rest? The carroña, like we say in Spanish, the leftovers of the dinner or the lunch of the lion. The hyena, the chacal, all these animals that are eating the worst of the rest. Even the birds, we call prey birds, like the falcon or things that eat animals, but all the other birds, they eat seeds and bugs and little things. So these toxic energies, this deep level of toxic energies, are feeding from our toxic energy, like a fear, anxiety. And as you know, in this period, the rate of suicide increased, the depression, the anxiety, the spousal abuse and the child abuse have spiked. And this spike, all of these toxic emotions and behavior of people are the product of this massive fear that we have. All right, my friends, I would like to know if you want to. We are going to do a short meditation, 15 minutes, and then we are going to do the half-an-hour healing session. And remember that the meditation is something that we have to do every day. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And we have to have constancia. We have to have the diligence of doing it every day. Like everything, we need to do it constantly. The ideal, it has to be done every morning when we wake up and every evening before we go to sleep. Why? Because when we meditate in the morning, we feel that peace, we carry out this peace through the day. And when we are worn out at night, before going to sleep, we recharge again, so we have a good sleep. The peace that Gandhi had walking the earth, the peace that Jesus had walking on this planet, and other role models in this planet came from that deep meditation and contact with God. What is God? God is a higher power. God is energy. So these healing sessions remove the deep-rooted, deepest levels of these rooted energy blockages that are causing a lot of unconscious reactions, like getting angry, and all these situations that are happening, that are spiking, abuse between spouses and towards children and things like that. We are going to meditate for a little while. We have to start meditation connecting with God. Remember I talk extensively. We don't use the word universe. This is a word introduced by people from the New Age because they have shame because of the lack of knowledge what God is. God is simply a higher power and energy. Has nothing to do with any religion because God doesn't belong to anyone. So I'm going to do a general prayer. You can use the prayer that you want, but never use the universe. Because in the universe, guess what? And Jesus talked about that. There is the good, the bad, and the ugly. And when we call the universe, we leave it open to anything that can come. And most of the time comes the wrong energy. All right. Come back to this video. I'm going to edit the meditation and put it in Facebook and YouTube for you to come back and practice it until you learn it. It's very easy. And you can practice every day. Excuse me, it's a friend from Chile. Juancito, discúlpame, pero empecé mi programa en vivo. Tuve un contratiempo y no te pude llamar. ¿Crees que no? No. Estoy en vivo ahora por otra hora más. Así que si lo podemos hacer más tarde o yo te mando un texto cuando esté libre, ¿ok? Ok, un abrazo. Ok, fantástico. Te llamo cuando me desocupe. Un abrazo. Bye. This friend is the one I'm going to do the interview tomorrow. And we are connecting. He is living in Chile. Okay. Meditation. The spine has to be straight. Not touching the back of the chair. Something like that. If you sit on the floor, it's fine. And then we are going to tense. We are going to let's do the prayer first. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, Jesus Christ. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that part. That's what I do every day. But until there is fine. Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, friend, beloved God, saints and sages of all religions, we bow to you all. We come to thee to sit at thy feet of omnipresence, to receive thy blessings, thy protection, thy guidance. And notice again, thy blessings, thy protection against toxic energies, dark energies, and your guidance to know what we need to do next. And to offer thee all the love of our heart. We take a deep breath and we tense the whole body from head to toes 3 times. I do a double breathing, a short breathing and a long one, and also a short exhalation and a long one. We do this to eliminate some excess of carbon dioxide that makes our heart restless, pumping too much blood to get rid of the carbon dioxide. This is why it's a must not to eat before meditation because we fall asleep, and to try to avoid carbohydrates like white bread, of course sugars, and all the things that have no nutrition and too many carbohydrates. We are going to do a simple breathing technique to calm the heart. We are going to inhale to the count of 6 or 8, to hold the breath for the same count, and exhale on the same count. If you cannot do it with 6 or 8, do it with a number that feels comfortable for you. It could be 4, it could be 5, it could be 6. So I'm not going to guide this because I'm going to do it only once. We start breathing, breathing in, inhaling, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We hold it to 6, to the count of 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we exhale to the count to 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we practice for 1 minute or 2. Inhale to the count of 6 or 8, whatever you can. If you can do 10, 15 is fine. Hold it to the same count and exhale to the same count. We need to practice this simple breathing technique for at least 5 minutes in our regular half-an-hour meditation. And now we are just going to watch our breath without forcing, with the eyes lifted gently without forcing them to the spiritual eye, the point between the eyebrows, the center of the Christ consciousness. And we put our attention in our breathing without forcing it. We observe how we inhale the air, which is coming into our lungs. And we observe how the air comes out from our lungs during the exhalation. We can put our attention on our nostrils or our lungs. We just observe our breath without forcing it, at whatever speed our lungs wants to breathe. Remember that for the energy there is no, for the spirit there is no time and space. So we are really literally meditating all together, I can feel the energy, as I've been saying since this crisis started. I meditate much better when I do it here with you than when I am on my own. Why? Because the energy of all of us striving to get to the peaceful state of calm is helping us all. We are feeling the energy of all of us. Like Jesus said, where two or more are gathered in my name, I am there. And try to feel the peace as we inhale and exhale, and feel God's presence as peace, eventually as love and joy. We are going to do a short healing meditation. We inhale love and we exhale fear. We can visualize that love are little particles of white, a very white and brilliant, shiny light coming through our lungs and expanding into our whole body. When we exhale, we inhale love and we exhale little dark particles of fear until our body is clean. We inhale love and we exhale anxiety. We inhale light and we exhale depression. We inhale light, a very bright white light, and we exhale all our preoccupations. This by itself is a powerful healing meditation that you can practice at any time, for 1 minute, 5 minutes, half an hour. Now we come back to the observing the breath without forcing it. And we are going to add the Sanskrit, the mental repetition of the Sanskrit words Hong So. When we inhale, we mentally say Hong, H-O-N-G, and we feel the peace. And when we exhale, we say So, S-A-W, and these words in Sanskrit means I am Him, I am God. With the eyes gently lifted to the spiritual eye, watching the breath flow normally without forcing it, we mentally repeat Hong during the inhalation and So during the exhalation, that in Sanskrit, a spiritual language, an ancient spiritual language from India, means I am Him, I am God. We are going to practice for 3-4 minutes. and we feel how the peace is invading our body, and that peace is a sign of God's presence. So our goal in meditation is to calm the body to feel the peace of the contact, the presence of God. With practice, on time, the peace becomes love, a love that is not from this world, and then becomes joy, a joy that the physical experiences cannot give us. With the eyes focus on the spiritual eye, the point between the eyebrows, observing our breath, and mentally chanting Hong So during inhalation and exhalation. Hong is H-O-N-G when we inhale, and So is S-A-W when we exhale. And we go deep into the peace with each inhalation and exhalation. When you learn these simple techniques, you don't need anything, no anybody, not even this video to practice. And we always practice in the silence. Music entertains our mind busy, and that prevents us from going deep into the peace. We may feel the love, we may feel wonderful feelings. However, the objective of meditation is to go in deep into feeling the peace, which is a direct manifestation of God. When we practice this, we rise our frequency, spiritual frequency, and that counteracts the toxic energies that are temporarily invading the world. We are going to practice a simple yet powerful pranayama. Pranayama are breathing techniques that move the energy up and down the spine, that clears our chakras and energizes our chakras and spinal cord, which is the altar of God. The chakras, the spine, is the altar of our soul that connects us with God. The goal of the yoga practice of meditation is to withdraw the attention and the energy from the senses, from our whole body, and concentrate all that energy in the spine, When we are able to do that, we don't feel our body anymore. And then, only then, we know that we are a spirit. Remember this. And when we know that we are a spirit, fear disappears. Preoccupations are no more. We are going to visualize that there is a sphere of white, bright energy entering the base of our spine, the first chakra, the root chakra. And when we inhale, always without forcing the breath, we visualize that this sphere goes up the spine, going through all the chakras, the sacral chakra below the navel, going up the solar plexus, the heart chakra, the throat chakra, through the back of our neck, the medulla oblongata, up to the crown chakra, and ending on the spiritual eye, on the point between the eyebrows during the inhalation. So we fit our visualization to whatever length of the inhalation. And the same with exhalation. From our forehead, this white sphere of energy goes up to the crown chakra, back to the head, going through the medulla oblongata, throat chakra, heart chakra, solar plexus, second chakra, and root chakra. And the sphere comes back right away with the next inhalation. On time, we are going to feel like something is touching the inner of our spine. And at that moment, we know that we have mastered, or at least advanced in this practice. When we consciously can make the energy goes up and down the spine is a hollow tube of energy. It's sacred. And we awake that tube by practicing these pranayamas. We can take a gentle breath, deep breath, and do a prayer in the language of our heart, thanking God for these 20 minutes that just passed by so quickly, of peace and love. And we are going to start our healing session and transformation. Why transformation? Because when the deep-rooted energy blockages are removed, we are also removing patterns of behavior that were hurting us. And instead of reacting to situations that apparently hurt us, we are going to make the choice to answer in the most wise way. Lay down on a comfortable place, your bed. And we're going to say the prayer all together. During the session you may feel feelings like tingling or some other feelings. I don't want to put them in your mind. Whatever you feel is fine, and they are signs of the removal of different kinds of energy blockages. If you want to share at the end, I can comment on them. And repeat out loud after me. All the things dark and negative that ever came into me before my birth, after my birth, and until now, all those things must leave me now and return to where they came from. And so it is. Just feel your body. Put your attention in your body. That's the best way to be in the present moment. And now I'm going to put a music so you may relax better. As I've been doing lately, this is new for the English-speaking people. I'm going to go to my meditation place. I will leave the music and the video, and I will come back in 30 minutes. This is better for you. I can help you better, and it's better for me too. It's better for everyone. enjoy the relaxation. If you had a sensation, you don't really need to participate. I'd rather have you enjoying the relaxation. If you had a sensation that you want to share, so I may elaborate a little bit about that. And in general, every sensation is a sign of removal of energy blockages. Some of them are different, and at the end, whatever you felt, it really doesn't matter. I just want you to know that is the sensation of the release of the energy blockages. Remember to drink a lot of water today and tomorrow. Some of the energies are flushed down through the water that we drink, and the energy keeps working for 72 hours, about 3 days. So you may feel things different. You will feel things different in your life. Your English is good, Diego. And summarizing, as we know, in these unprecedented circumstances that we are living in, we don't have physical freedom. We may not even have emotional freedom if we watch the news, if we listen everything that the propaganda says. However, when we have the deep connection with God through meditation, that I promise you is not difficult, we have inner freedom because we feel free inside. Many people have all the freedom, the external freedom that you may ask for. With money, with things, travel. But they are locked down from the inside. I'm going to post this video of just a meditation so you can learn it. Just practice and learn it, and you can practice anywhere. Waiting in a doctor's office, in a hiking at the beach, in a bench, in the park, anywhere. I used to meditate when I was a kid. In the public bus, I just close my eyes and I practice these simple techniques. If you don't speak Spanish, you can participate. You know that we are going to start meditating, and you know when the music is on, we are going to do the healing transformation part of the event. So if you feel the need to recharge, you can come and connect with everyone. Even if the sessions are in Spanish. That's why I put the signs in the two languages. I had to talk to my friend in Chile. God bless us all. A ver, Hope. Hello, Carlos, and all. Looking forward to do this. Hope, I am very happy that I'm doing the sessions in English again. I remember that you used to come every Tuesday. From now on, every Tuesday night at 6, a little earlier, I will do it again. And I know that it's good for you. And there were other people in the East Coast. And again, I will post just a meditation. Today was 20 minutes and flew by like nothing. So you can come back and listen to the meditation. But I really encourage you to do it on your own in silence every day. However, it's wonderful that we meditate together. I do this, I don't care if there are 3 people watching or 5 or 2, because I enjoy it so much. I feel the presence of all of you. Group meditation is very important. So if we come here 1, 2, 3 or the 4 times a week that I am doing it, we are going to be helping each other and recharging our souls. I recommend you to do that. Even if you don't feel like it, just do it. Tomorrow, Wednesday, it will be in Spanish at 1 p.m. and at 4 p.m. this interview with Jan Girardi at 4 p.m. We are going to do it in English too, because it's a very important information to go through this crisis with grace. All right, everybody, I'm still healing my my throat, but I am doing better. I promise you. I love you all, and I see you on Wednesday and Friday at 1 p.m. in Spanish, and Thursday at 6 p.m. If more people come in English, I will do it. I will add one more day. I would love to do that. Bye-bye. Carlos is happy. I know, Carlos, you are a sponge absorbing good energy, and that makes me very happy. All right, bye everybody.